By far, the number one excuse I get when it comes to why someone can't start their phone flipping business is that they don't have enough money to do so. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking this $100 and trying to turn it into $1,000 to prove that you do not need a lot of money to get started flipping iPhones. I definitely think this first phone is going to be the hardest one to try to buy. Initial $100 budget is by no means a lot of money to try to buy a phone, but I do think it's doable. As far as which model specifically I think we're going to be looking at, I know for a fact we could probably afford like an iPhone 8 or an 8 Plus in this budget. Both of those are only going to give us like $30 to $50 profit, so I kind of want to leave those as a last resort if we can't get anything else. The main models I think I'm going to be trying to look for is probably like an iPhone 10 or a 10R. Probably not in the best shape at this budget. I do think with a bit of negotiating we should be able to get one of those in this price range. But we were able to find a phone that fits our $100 budget. I just found an iPhone XR with a cracked screen. He originally listed it for $125, but I was able to negotiate him down to $70 because of the cracked screen, which is still quite the steal even with the cracked screen. And the cost for the screen is only going to be just under $30 to replace the screen. Total cost of a fully working, great condition iPhone XR is going to be $100, which honestly proved to be a lot more difficult to find than I thought. But we got it. We're going to go pick it up now, and then hopefully we're going to go ahead and get that sold so we have a bit more of a budget for our next phone. I couldn't exactly film the guy because it was like a really weird angle and I didn't want to be creepy, but I did grab the phone, tested everything, and it all seems to be working good. But it is the next morning. I woke up pretty early today and I fixed the screen on the phone as well as listed it on both Facebook Marketplace and eBay. I did price this one pretty competitively at $200 because I wanted to try to move it as quick as possible just so we could get some capital for the later phones, because I do think the jump we'll get from like $200 is going to be a lot bigger. So I just want to get this one sold ASAP, have some more room to play with for our second phone. The good thing about this second phone is a lot of the phones that were just out of budget on the first phone are now in budget. So it gives us room to probably get something like either an iPhone 11 or maybe an iPhone 12 with a cracked screen. 12 might be pushing it if I'm being honest, but I do think we could probably afford either a really poor condition 11 or an iPhone 11 with like a shattered back or front and actually repair it. I think that's what I'm going to be looking for the second phone. And in the interest of time for this second one, I do plan on looking for the phone while we wait for the XR to sell, because I'm pretty confident we'll get between like 180 to 200 for that. I'm going to preemptively make some offers and see what we could get in terms of the second phone. And I'm just going to keep waiting for the XR to sell in the meantime so that we can go ahead and buy the second phone as soon as we get the funding. As I mentioned earlier, just to make it a little bit more interesting, I did want to add a timeline and kind of like a deadline to try to get to the $1,000. So we started the challenge yesterday, which was Monday, May 1st with $100. And I want to try and finish the whole challenge and hit the $1,000 by this Sunday, which is May 7th, which gives us exactly a week to try to do the whole thing. So it is the third day of trying to turn $100 into $1,000 phone flipping. To be honest, yesterday was pretty uneventful. There wasn't a crazy amount of phones on the market, but we did sell our iPhone XR yesterday on eBay. The phone sold for $235, which after eBay's fees and everything, it leaves us with $213. I'll have the exact number up on the screen. So I'm just packing up the phone and getting ready to ship it out to the buyer now. I realize I haven't exactly been doing the best job at showing what I'm doing to find these phones. And to be honest, I haven't exactly been setting like dedicated times to try to look for phones. I just intermittently check Facebook Marketplace throughout the day and make offers while stuff comes along. We'll be making more of an effort moving forward to actually explain what I'm doing to try to get these deals. Let's finish up at the gym and I'm doing a quick search for phones. So I'm just going to go over what I typically do when I'm actually looking for phones and what I do to try and find them. As far as radius, I typically set my radius to like 200 kilometers, which I believe that works out to like 120 miles-ish. I'm definitely not driving that far. I do find when you set the radius that far, you see a lot more of the phones that show up. But I pretty much just go to Marketplace, I search the phones I'm looking for, I filter by newest first, and then I check whatever's available. I'll do like say the iPhone 11 and then the iPhone 12. I'll go through that. I'm doing it a bit differently because I'm being pretty specific with what I could afford based on my budget right now. A typical day when I was doing this, I would literally search every single model every couple hours or so. So the more you do this, the more the algorithm kind of figures out what exactly you're looking for. And it starts to actually suggest phones that match your price range and what you're looking for. And I know it seems like a lot of work to be doing this like every hour or so, but you really just like, you do it throughout your day. It's just something you check periodically. You could do it like pretty quickly. Within like 5 minutes, you can know if there's any new phones available. But that really is all I'm doing when I'm looking for phones. I'm just being very frequent with the searches and how often I check. So when a good deal does come along, I'm the first one to see it. It seems overwhelming, but it really is easy when you just make it part of your day and you're always checking. Kind of exciting. It's like a little hit of dopamine whenever you find a phone that fits your budget. Just got super lucky and we found an iPhone 12 listed for $150. I'm actually just in the parking lot now waiting to meet up with the guy. Hopefully when we test everything works good and we're able to go ahead and buy the phone. I will get back to you guys once we grab it. Just bought the phone. It's actually in like perfect condition aside from the cracks on the back. The battery health is like 98%. The guy just had it replaced at Apple. I tested like everything on the phone. Everything works perfect. The IMEI number is clean, so it's not blacklisted or stolen or anything. And his iCloud is off of there. I'm super stoked on this. It's gonna put us in a good spot for the challenge and give us a lot more capital for our next phone. I am gonna head back now and try to get this phone listed as soon as possible. We just got back with our iPhone 12. This was a super good buy. I think it's gonna get us well on our way to our goal. I didn't really document much because it all happened super fast. Time I found it, I was already like pretty much on my way to go grab it. But while I was there, I did test everything. There's no iCloud lock. It's not blacklisted. Everything worked okay. It was just the crack on the back. I already went ahead and listed the phone on both eBay and Facebook Marketplace. As far as the photos, I actually already had another identical iPhone 12 that didn't have a cracked back. So I actually used that one to take the photos of the back of the phone. I just wanted to get the phone up ASAP so that I could get it sold as soon as possible so we have the funds for the next phone we try to get. I will be bringing the phone in to get repaired tomorrow morning, so we'll be good to go by the time we actually sell it. So just a quick update on where we actually are with the challenge. After spending the $150 on the phone, that brings our total funds back down to $65. The $65 should leave us with plenty of money to get the back glass repaired. It is now day 5. To be honest, day 4 was pretty uneventful. We just pretty much waited for the iPhone 12 to sell all day. This morning we got an offer for $415 for our iPhone 12, so I'm gonna accept the offer. We're now just on our way to go ahead and get the iPhone 12 repaired so we can go ahead and ship it out, and then we got the rest of the day to try to find some phones. Hey, how's it going? Got a 12 for you. There you are. Alright, so it is now day 6. About 10 minutes ago, I found a listing for an iPhone 12 Pro listed at $100. The guy's actually able to meet right away. The phone is the most beat up one we've bought this whole challenge. It's smashed on the front and the back. The frame's a bit bent, so I don't even think we could do back glass. I think I'm probably gonna have to get the entire frame replaced. It is listed at $100 and it's a 12 Pro. So we still have a solid amount of margin on the phone. We're finally in a place where we're not just buying one phone at a time. We have the funds to actually like spend a full day out buying 2 or maybe 3 phones. We definitely still have to be super selective with what we buy, because I think we have like a $440 budget, and that's going to be a key factor in getting us to that $1,000. The phone we're currently picking up is an iPhone 11 Pro. The guy listed it for $150. I was able to get him down to $120. The phone does have some cracks on both the front and the back. But for $120, we still have plenty of margin even after we fix it. And it leaves us with $300 more to buy other phones today. The iPhone 12 Pro we bought yesterday, it actually sold as is on eBay yesterday for just under $300. I'll have the exact amount up on the screen. I did the math on how much profit we would make if we fixed it versus how much profit we'd make if we just sold it as is on eBay. It actually worked out to like the same amount of profit. So I just listed it to see if anyone would buy it. And we got it sold the same night. So that's definitely ideal because it gives us a bit more of a budget today. We should be able to buy any phones we need to hit our $1,000 goal. We're actually on our way to go pick up the first phone of the day right now. It's actually another iPhone 11 Pro. This one has a cracked screen on the front. The rest of the phone all seems to be perfect. As long as everything checks out with the phone and it all works okay, we should actually be in a pretty good spot after we buy this one. All right, just picked up the phone. I was very surprised to learn that the Face ID still works, despite the camera looking like that. Pretty stoked on this one. It is a very good buy. The rest of the phone's actually perfect. The battery health is like 85%. $100 well spent. Alright, so I'm on my way now to pick up what should be the final phone of the challenge. I found an iPhone 12 with a shattered back glass for $200. It's a pretty solid buy. It's not quite as good as the 12 we bought a few days ago. Still a pretty solid amount of profit. But yeah, I'm just heading out now to pick up the phone. And hopefully after we sell this one, we should be at our $1,000 goal. Not gonna lie, it's been like a full week since the last clip I filmed. I somehow ended up renovating my entire office in the middle of filming this video. Good news is all of our phones sold. So let's see if we were actually able to go ahead and hit our $1,000 goal. So both of the iPhone 11 Pros sold. One of them sold for $320 and the other one sold for $300. And then the iPhone 12 we bought on the last day sold for $400. And then after all the fees eBay takes for the sale of those 3 phones, that brought us to $921.69, which then brings our total funds for the challenge up to $1,088.69. However, I did have to spend $50 to fix that last iPhone 12. I believe that brings us to $1,038.09 as the final number we're ending off with. It does mean that we were successfully able to turn $100 into $1,000. I would assume most people trying to get into this business have a little bit more than $100 they could invest in it. So if that's you, if you're out there and you're looking to get into business, hopefully this video serves as some motivation that you can do it. You don't need a lot of money. You could do one phone at a time. And honestly, this took a little bit more than a week. It really doesn't take that long to build up funds and be able to make a lot more money doing this business. That being said, that is all for today's video. If you like this video and you want to see more videos just like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.